A ruthless street robbery took a shocking turn when an off-duty military police officer was targeted by a trio of armed criminals on motorcycles. The officer, heading home after duty, was suddenly cornered. Facing 2 motorbikes and 3 gunmen, he appeared outmatched, even abandoning his own vehicle as he sprinted into a nearby garage, seemingly in surrender. But the attackers made a fatal mistake. They chased him inside. In the tight, shadowed space of the garage, the officer drew his concealed weapon and fired 5 decisive shots. Panic erupted. The armed assailants scrambled to escape, fleeing the scene in terror before they could even fire a single round. A man attempting to rob a bank in Minas Gerais, Brazil, found himself at the center of an embarrassing security malfunction that turned his plan into a viral comedy. The suspect entered the bank and tried to force open an ATM using only his feet, kicking the machine repeatedly in an effort to access the cash. When his attempts failed, he tried to flee, but the bank's automatic security system activated, locking him inside the reinforced revolving door at the entrance. Panicked and desperate to escape, he pushed and pulled at the door, only to make things worse. His oversized shorts slid down during the struggle, exposing his brightly colored underwear and leaving him humiliated in full public view. Trapped, half-dressed, and clearly defeated, he could do nothing but wait. Police arrived soon after and arrested him without resistance, bringing a ridiculous end to what he had imagined would be a profitable crime. A tense armed robbery erupted in Recife when an off-duty military police officer was cornered by 2 armed suspects on a motorcycle. Initially, the officer appeared to surrender, handing over his personal belongings to avoid immediate violence. But once he moved behind cover, everything flipped. The officer drew his firearm and returned fire with precision, hitting one of the attackers in the abdomen. Even wounded, the gunman managed to jump back on the motorcycle and flee with his accomplice, racing toward the neighboring city of Olinda. Their escape didn't last long. Police units launched a rapid search and soon located the suspects, taking 4 people into custody, including the injured assailant, who is now hospitalized under guard. Four criminals attempted to break into a house to steal, but their plan backfired the moment they made their move. Thinking they had an easy target, the group forced their way toward the property. Instead, they immediately ran into unexpected resistance, and chaos erupted. 2 thieves fixed their attention on a man's car. They circled the area on a motorcycle, watching closely and waiting for the right moment to attack. But the very second they made their move, regret hit instantly. They had no clue their target was an off-duty police officer. In trying to pull off what they thought would be a simple crime, they instead put themselves face to face with someone fully trained and ready to fight back. Their perfect plan turned into the worst decision of their lives. Two robbers suddenly rushed in to steal a young man's motorcycle. But before they could take control, a man from inside the house burst out to help. Armed with a whip, he struck the thieves from behind, landing blows directly on their backsides. Shocked and terrified, the criminals abandoned their plan and sped away in panic. A bold robbery attempt, shut down in seconds by a fearless neighbor. A woman had just arrived home and was still inside her car when a group of robbers suddenly pulled up. One of them, armed with a gun, jumped off his motorcycle and sprinted toward her, ready to strike. But she reacted in a split second. Instead of stepping out, she threw herself back into the driver's seat, slammed the vehicle into reverse, and accelerated away at full speed, leaving the attackers behind and ruining their ambush. Her rapid decision-making and fearless reflexes likely saved her life. A moment of courage turned what could have been a terrifying crime into a remarkable escape. An armed robbery at a local store became a terrifying reminder of how far criminals are willing to go, and how critical it is for ordinary people to know how to protect themselves. A gunman entered the store and threatened a young woman, demanding cash at gunpoint. Terrified for her life, she handed over the money without resistance. For a moment, it appeared the ordeal was over, but then the robber saw her mother. Driven by greed, he turned back and rushed toward the older woman, attempting to rob her as well. In a courageous attempt to defend her daughter, the mother fired a warning shot, but it only fueled the attacker's rage. Enraged, he lunged at her, trying to wrestle the weapon away. A violent struggle erupted inside the store. Acting in fear and desperation, the daughter seized the chance to fire a shot, saving her mother just in time. Even after being wounded, the robber continued to resist, forcing the women to flee before he could recover.
Gets him right in the back as they turn there. That's where.
This woman spotted a package left at someone's doorstep and couldn't resist her greed. She rushed over, snatched it, and ran back to her car. But karma struck instantly. She was lightly hit by a car. This time, it was just a minor accident. But if she keeps stealing, who knows where her life will end up? A robbery at a tobacco shop in Benevento took a dangerous turn when two criminals stormed in, terrifying the employees and stabbing the shop owner as he tried to defend himself. Fortunately, two police officers arrived just in time. Within minutes, they confronted the attackers and forced them to the ground with their hands up, ending the violent assault. The injured shop owner received medical attention, while the two suspects were arrested and taken into custody.